Hello everybody and welcome back to Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson, and once again I have been out there raiding the rack and I came home with two absolutely beautiful, stunning, rare, lovely, wanted, been searching for forever, haven't found until now plants that I can't wait to show you. And here they are in front of me. The one here in the plastic, you can probably see kind of what it is already. And the one over here, some of you may know what it is, some may not. But oh my, OMG. When I saw it. The thing was, I saw this one plant here. I'm going to go with this one first because this is how it played out. I saw that plant and I was like, okay, that looks very similar to a Monstera Pinnatipartita. And I absolutely love Monstera Pinnatipartita. I have one that's vined up 3 meters high, and I have one that I'm trying to get to push out, which is lovely at Crystal Cottage too. So when I saw this, I'm like, is it a more mature Monstera Pinnatipartita? Do the leaves get bigger? Do they get like this? Or is it a different plant? And then I looked at the stems and I was like, well, the stems are much thicker on this plant. They're lighter green. They're a different kind of shape. They kind of vine in a slightly different way. And then I found out this is not the Monstera Pinnatipartita. This is and I'm going to come closer to say this, people. This here is an amazing Monstera Pinnatipartita. And OMG, huh? This, at the moment, is a very rare plant to get hold of. I have never seen this in any nursery around where I live, anywhere, at all, ever, before now. This is the first time ever. This is a beautiful Monstera Pinnatipartita. And look at the size of these leaves on this plant. I've really got to bring this in closer so you can see this. And I'm trying to hold it in a way so you can really see it. Look at the size of this leaf. Look at that. Look at that. It's as big as my face. It really is. That is a huge leaf. And if I bring it in closer, this one down here is huge as well. The leaves are absolutely beautiful on this plant. I really do love Monstera Pinnatipartita. That is one of my favourite plants. So when I saw this, I was just overjoyed. The leaves have the same texture. They have the same kind of colour, but lighter. This one's lighter, but they're much more, they grow in a slightly different way from the base. And I can see there are lots of leaves coming out from the bottom here. It's got vining going on in different areas. Of course, you can see this lovely long piece here that's vining out. I am going to enjoy this plant so much growing up a stake into huge, big, beautiful, amazing leaves. I just got to bring it in closer so you can have a closer look. Look at those leaves. Aren't they just gorgeous? Look down here. Look at that. Oh. And then look at this vining part down here. Look at those new leaves. There's a new leaf coming out at the end. And there are nodes here. There are nodes everywhere. If I wanted to, I could prune this and make myself some more plants so that I can bush out this plant as quickly as possible. But I do want it growing up. So I think I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be staking it up if I can, because this seems to be kind of stuck down here. I'm not sure. Maybe it's because this one here is stuck around the other one there. If I can get it to stake up, I'm going to stake it up. So that video will be coming up, me staking this up to start with, and then see what happens with the rest. But wow, the leaves on this are just gorgeous. They're so big. I just haven't seen this plant before. And I can tell you something about this plant that is very different from Monstera Pinnatipartita. These leaves are still only juvenile, which means even though they're big, these leaves are very small. This plant gets big leaves and it fenestrates all over. This plant gets big fenestrations and it slits. It gets big slits in all its leaves the more it matures. So it's going to become an absolutely beautiful slit and fenestrating plant, kind of like a Monstera. So this is the beginning of something absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to get this plant staked up and growing well, just as my Monstera Spoperu is doing, just as well as my Monstera Saniana Albovariegata is doing. I can't wait for this Monstera to join the club and do really well too. So keep your eyes peeled, because there will be a staking video of this plant coming up very soon. Look at that. Oh, just have to fill up the screen one more time before we get to the next plant. So when I'd seen this Monstera Pinnatipartita and I decided to buy it, I was like, okay, I'm done for the day, because this plant cost me 1,350 Swedish kroners, because it is so rare. It's only just come out on the market and it is going to be snapped up just like that. They had 6 pots of it. 6 pots, and they are going to be gone. And the guy told me when he was out going to buy his plants in this time, that where he goes to buy his plants, they only had a huge mother plant example of this, and they'd taken a few small cuttings that were growing out, and he asked if he could buy those to sell in his nursery here in Sweden, and they said no. But when he was back this time, he saw that they had only a limited supply of this plant in this size, something like 20 or something like that in the original nursery. So he managed to get 6 examples of it to bring to Sweden, and well, I have one of them in my home now, and I just can't wait for that to rocket off. So when I went to pay, I go to this plant centre very often. It's an absolutely amazing place in Malmö, Sweden, called Tradgards Palleten. So anyone who lives in Malmö, you need to go to Tradgards Palleten and get your rare, beautiful plants. They have huge plants, big plants. You can buy amazing, huge, mature examples, or you can buy smaller plants. They will have different things coming in all the time, and you never know what's going to be coming, and you never know what's going to be there, but there's always a shock, there's always a surprise, because they get these rarer plants in and they don't last there very long. That's all I can say. They are snapped up because they never have that many examples of these rare plants. And well, as I was saying, I was paying, and then he came up to me and he said, oh, and when he was asking me about the other plant, because he wasn't with me at the time, I was trying to explain the plant that I wanted to buy, because I'd seen it and it had no price on it and it didn't have the name of the plant. So I went over to him and I asked him to try to explain it, and then he thought he knew what I was talking about, but he didn't. He thought I was talking about the plant that's in front of me now. So when you were asking me about the Monstera Pinnatipartita, I thought you were talking about this. And then he shoves this in my face, people. Yes, look close, look close, look close. He took the opportunity to shove this plant in my face, knowing that I could not say no to that. And I broke the bank. I broke the bank that day, because when I got there, I did see a girl walking around with one of these. Now, you saw what it was. It's a Monstera Constellation we're talking about, people. This is also a very rare plant around here still. You just don't see this in the nurseries. You just don't. And then I saw this girl walking around in Tradgards Palleten with one of these. And I said, where did you get that? She said, it was on the first table when I came in, the only example there, and I saw it and I just snapped it up. And I was like, you are so lucky, because if I got here a minute before you, it would have been mine. So I just thought that was all over and I just forgot about it, but I was amazed that they had them in store anyway. And then when I come to the counter, he pulls up this Monstera Constellation that had been hiding down behind the counter, not put out on display, and he said, oh, I thought you was talking about this plant, the Monstera Constellation. But he didn't say Monstera Constellation at that time, so I'm wondering, did he really mean that? Or did he just try to get me to buy another plant? And you know what? I was just thankful he did, because I felt like I was in the right place at the right time, because of course I wanted this plant. I don't have a Monstera Constellation, and I've wanted one for ages and I've never seen it anywhere. So when he did that, I said, of course, I will buy it, don't care the price. Well, what did I pay? I paid 1,250 Swedish krona for this absolutely beautiful example of a Monstera Thai Constellation. So I just need to get it out of this plastic so I can bring it up and give you a closer look at this wonderful, wonderful baby I've got here. Let's go. Get all that off. Get this tag out because that has nothing to do with it. And then you will get to see this plant up close and personal in a moment. 1 minute, please. Well, people, look at this beautiful example of this Monstera Thai Constellation. I have finally got one in my possession and I am over the moon. And this was a spontaneous buy because it was spontaneously, maybe, shoved into my face and I grabbed it. I was kind of like, I freaked out. I kind of freaked out. He said, this has not been sold. And I misheard. I thought he'd said that it had been sold because I just thought, you know, because it was wrapped in and it was behind the counter. I was just like, okay, it's been sold. Wow, I can't believe that was standing there and he's coming and showing it to me. But I said, oh. And then he said something else and I said, oh, is it not sold? And he said, no, it's not sold yet. And I just threw my arms out and said, give me that plant. I'm taking it and I'm taking it now. You ain't stopping me now. You've shown me it. Look at that leaf. Look at that leaf. And then look at this leaf. Look at that leaf. And look at this one as well. Even the young ones, the ones without fenestrations, have all the spots and the variegation going on. It's all the way up the bottom. And then look at this huge leaf coming out here. And I can already see this leaf is full of slits and fenestrations as it's growing out. So that is a big, huge leaf. It's going to be bigger than that leaf there. And it's going to be full of fenestrations. So, oh my amazing, amazing, wow. This is just, oh, well, this was just amazing. And then there's small leaves. And even the small leaves right at the bottom, there's tiny leaves here. And they've got, look, variegations and they've got the spots on them. Oh, the whole thing is full of this amazing Thai constellation. And it's like creamy yellow, it's minty green, it's dark green. It's just amazing. I couldn't believe it. Once again, I was shocked when I went to Tradgards Palleten in Malmö. They always shock me. They always come out with something amazing and beautiful. And I always post pictures of plants that I buy from them on their Instagram. And, well, just look at this leaf. This leaf is big. Look, compared to my head, it's a beautiful big leaf already. Oh, I'm so pleased. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it that he came to me, the owner there, and just put this in front of me and said, this hasn't been sold yet because he hadn't put it out. So when the first one was sold, that same day, in front of my nose, he was going to put another one out. So I think the strategy was to put one out at a time, to keep the flow of people coming in and giving people a chance, other people a chance to go in and buy it. Because you might get somebody going in there and they might buy 2 or 3 or 4 in one go. So he's putting out one at a time. So he came and he gave me this directly in front of me. So I had the opportunity to buy it because it would have just been snapped. And it's the same thing with the Monstera Pinnatipartita. That is also going to be gone in no time from that place. So I was so, so pleased with my Raid in the Rack trip out today. So that's all I have for you for this video. I have myself a beautiful Monstera Pinnatipartita and myself a beautiful Monstera Thai Constellation. If this isn't a Raid in the Rack video that you're gonna love, I don't know what is. So anyway, thank you very much once again for watching Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell so you know when my next video will be uploaded, and I will see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.